So this course unit, when you log in, you find research methods, the School of Education, so that when you tap in it, you become what research is. Sorry for what research is and classifications of research. You'll find the research process is there. Uh, to study, click here to join and study research process. This one you'll find is a lecture. This one is this is the research. This is the text of the research process. Here you'll find that the research process is starting from identifying the research problem. After identifying this research problem, what there is this research problem here, you will see that it has this one. I made an extension to 4 parts, but if the student is mastering the 3 parts, the ideal part is what should be. You see, those who have discovered what a problem is, okay, we are saying that the problem, for you to say that that is a problem, then tell us what is the ideal. What should be? So if this is the problem, then what should be? What is that thing that would not have been a problem? Hmm? For example, if you say, what's the normal temperature of a person? 37 degrees Celsius. That is what should be. It's the ideal, the expected. Now, when we test, you come and we test your temperature and find it at 40 degrees Celsius. Is that the ideal or is the reality? That's the reality. Then we say that this reality is what is happening. That it is 40 degrees, yet is expected to be 37. Then we start to detect possibly there could be a problem. But we don't conclude that there is a problem. For example, if you found a person at 40 degrees Celsius and very happy, is going to go cricket oval and is to enjoy either Arsenal versus Man U. And it is normal. And when you ask the person, do you have good appetite? Yes, good. And then are you feeling very hot? No. Hmm? And some headache? No. And if that is how that person is, and it is like that for the year, then possibly we start to say there are people who have hypertemperature. Then maybe you create a word for them and they are not affected. You only tell that this person, this temperature which is 40, is a problem. If there are effects, we ask, are you having good appetite? No. I have even feel some headache. My joints are weak. Then we know this is because the temperature is high. Then there could be a problem causing the temperature from being higher than the what? The ideal. Okay. Until you show that there is an effect, the problem is what? Is crippling the normal way things should go. Then we say there is a problem. Now here I would say, for example, if we say good remuneration of teachers enables them to incline their efforts to improve the performance of learners. Is that reality or ideal? So that is what is expected. That when there is good remuneration, remuneration means pay or salary or even allowances. Then the teachers perform, learners' performance is expected to be high. That's an expectation. Then, but the reality is that teachers in leader are demonstrating and learners are not performing well. This is attributed to low remuneration. The teachers in leader are demonstrating. Possibly, it's because of low annual remunerations, then the learners are not performing well. Then, because this is now not the ideal, then we say, what is the effect? Possibly, you can show the effect by the learners in rural districts are failing. Show here the statistics. Maybe 2% of the learners are passing at a high, maybe grade 1. Or no learner actually. Then say, this could be because the teachers here are not remunerated as this one stated, because now even the performance of learners is deteriorating and the teachers are resorting to border riding and other economic activities. Also tell us who has researched and has drawn conclusion that teachers are in borders, not rumors. Then we say, if the problem you're stating has these three parts, then that problem is worth qualifying. However, this problem, the problem statement you're giving should also have literature. For example, when you say you state this condition and say good remuneration of teachers enables them to incline their efforts to improving performance of learners or towards improving performance of learners. In research, in basic research, you don't state it and leave it there. Give us who has said that. That's called citing sources of literature. If John is the one who wrote this statement, by research discovered that that is how it should be. Either you've read it in a textbook or an article or another person's dissertation, say who owns that work. Put in bracket, John, when did that person write, comma, 2023. I don't know whether you've found such writings somewhere. That is called citation. Okay. This is what we are calling here. Back up this information with the literature. If you say that teachers in a rural district are resorting to border, and who has discovered that the teachers are on border? Otherwise, whichever border person you find speaking English for you think is a teacher. So then you say, then you put that report that is the person who is saying they are on border. If it is a district report saying that, you can put Lira district report of which year? 2022. So this is a research process where we are saying the first process you begin by identifying a research problem. But you know that when you identify the research problem, you will state it. For you to state it, it has got to be with those three parts. However, when one asks you for a research process, then it's better you state this as the process. But when one needs for you to construct a research problem, then you know that you have those three parts. Then after the research problem has been identified, review literature about it. If it is teachers' remunerations here, then tell us, read about those people who have written about the same problem and see which approaches they have come up with and the solutions they have come up with, and see whether those solutions actually apply in that community to solve the problem. Why do we review literature? We said avoid duplication. People have already researched about teachers' remunerations in real and made recommendations, but when you don't know, and then you're going back there to do the very research, why not to just adopt those recommendations those who have already done the research have made and solve the problem, other than be doing research and wasting resources? You also, when you're reviewing this literature at this point, you review literature at this stage. But while reviewing literature, it will also help you to widen your knowledge about the problem. Maybe you thought it is about salary, but the teachers there are actually thinking of sleeping near to the school. But for you thought it is salary. The literature review will tell you. You'll review even some reports there. They will even tell you some of the approaches that have not worked, so that you don't recommend approaches that have not worked in those communities. Historically, yeah. You will see a section called literature review and relevance of literature review. But this stage is called review the what? Literature about the problem. Then you look at the problem and state a topic that corresponds to that what? Problem. For example, here, I gave you an example from the problem we have tried to state up there, and said teacher motivation and students' performance. Here in Uganda, people want to use learners than students. They are leaving this word to secondary schools people. But worldwide, students mean anybody who is studying. So you can use learners' performance in primary schools in Uganda as a topic. Then you put a case of Lira district. The process is state the topic. The step is state the topic. But now this topic here we are stating is an example. You will see that this topic, like we said, the topic has got to have two variables. In the what? The dependent and independent variables. Okay, thank you. However, in the orderliness of saying independent and dependent, or dependent and independence, we maintain that we start Independent and dependent. So while reading it or stating it, we state from independent to dependent. So here, for example, here is saying if you motivated the teachers, you see that, then you will achieve students' performance. So does this person focus on students' performance? Putting efforts. Where does this person put efforts? The efforts are put on making sure that the teachers are what? Motivated. Then the results are students' performance. So because now this one, teacher motivation is the one causing on which students performance is depending on. We call students performance the what? The dependent variable. It is depending on teacher motivation. But because teacher motivation has nothing it is depending on in here, we call it dependent. It doesn't belong to NRM, not even NUP or FDC and other parties. So then it is independent, an independent candidate. So the topic is, you will see, these are examples here to show you the meaning of the step. The topic will have where is the problem and where is this study going to be conducted. That's why we put here the case of Lira district, Northern Uganda. It's someone who told me you shouldn't put Northern Uganda, just put Uganda, because some people attribute Northern Uganda to war. Yet the wars ended years back. But the case you say case of, then you state the place, with Kampala district, Uganda. Then this topic, for it to qualify to be a topic, it should have two variables. So last year we are seeing that those variables are there. Independent variable, teacher motivation. I'm actually not supposed to, this is not supposed to be a number, yeah? Because it's not a process. The process is that it is a description of the variables. So here, the independent variable, teacher motivation, dependent is students' performance. Include the case study, which is a geographical area. Then here is state the objectives of the study. We are going to see how to state objectives of the study to reduce congestion of this process. Objectives of the study were not stated here, because the focus of this section is the research process. Then objectives of the study, then also add the corresponding research questions. Then indicate up to this stage, I'm right to say you can go ahead with the research process in your reading. Okay, I want to tell you how to do the practical work, how to do the practical work, because this research is a practical what? Course unit, principle versus practice. You need to have to be able to do your work. Instead, come up with a concept paper. Then you should not, now what's a concept paper? Yet you have studied the research methods. Then I would be a very good failure, a failure teacher. So this one, we're going to study the research process. So I'm closing here for